Hey, welcome back to Live It Out. My shirt is really about what we're going to be talking about. It's relationships. We all have them. Do you know that the number one thing that draws people to the Lord is the Lord? He wants to be in relationship with us. It's His call. He calls us. You know the number one thing that draws people to a particular church? His other people. Whether it's the preacher or the children's ministry or just how they felt welcomed or they got invited. And the number one thing that pushes people away from churches as well is relationships. It's people. They feel judged or they don't like this or that or they want something better. But this shirt, I don't know how to say it. It's an Ethiopian. It means family. And family is really what God is about. When Jesus was asked what's the most important thing, He said, love for Him with everything that you got, and love for others as you love yourself. And so I wanted to challenge you with the Live It Out. What relationships are broken in your life? Shattered. Just a mess. Could God be in the middle of that? Could He be the one that's allowed that to happen? Could it even possibly be that He's let them shatter so He could put them back together the way they need to be? With Him first and foremost. Because nobody else is like God. No relationship is like His. Hey, when Jesus came into His hometown and He preached in the synagogue, they handed Him the scroll, and it was Isaiah. And He went to this spot, and I want to read it for you in its entirety, and you can look it up if you don't want to listen to me read it. It's Isaiah 61, 1 through 7. I want you to see about Jesus taking what's broken and putting it back together again. He said that this passage was fulfilled in their presence in Jesus. So check it out. Isaiah 61, 1 through 7. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, and to provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord, for the display of His splendor. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. Aliens will shepherd your flocks. Foreigners will work your fields and vineyards. And you will be called priests of the Lord. And you will be named ministers of our God. You will feed on the wealth of the nations, and in their riches you will boast. Instead of their shame, my people will receive a double portion. And instead of disgrace, they will rejoice in their inheritance. And so they will inherit a double portion in their land, and everlasting joy will be theirs. God can put you back together, and only God can. Let Him do that the way He wants to. Don't put people above Him. Don't put yourself above Him. Simple, plain. It's about Jesus. His shaping, His molding, even His breaking, and His putting you back together again. So love God with all that you got. Love others as you love yourself, and serve generously. See you next week.